Hello and welcome to another episode of the AstraZeneca Women in Tech series. I'm your host, Ben Vent, and today I'm joined by Kajsa Svanlind from our R&D IT team based in Gothenburg, Sweden. Kajsa, welcome to the episode. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm very well, thank you. Weather is nice in Gothenburg today, so that doesn't happen very often.
Oh, really? Is it actually good weather, or is it?
It's actually good weather. Yeah, blue sky.
Wow.
I heard it was raining in the UK today, so
It is, yeah.
to Gothenburg soon as well.
Yeah, we're used to that now. But I think from memory, when I came out to Sweden, that you tend to get our weather a few days later.
Exactly, yeah.
I look forward to that. Well, thanks for joining me, and I'm really excited because it's great to get people on this. I call it a show, on this series, from all different levels and experience within AZ and within technology. So I'm really pleased to have you on because you're actually part of our IIT Graduate Scheme. So I was hoping that you could kind of tell us a little to begin with about what that is, what you get to do, and yeah, a bit about your current role.
Yeah, so it's a global sort of leadership, IT leadership scheme. It's 3 years, and for 2 years you rotate into different roles and different parts of IT, AC, IT. And so you do 8 months at a time, so 8 months first, and then 8 months again, and then 8 months. And then after 2 years, you have a so-called consolidation role. So that's a full year, which is supposed to be sort of a bridge into your permanent position into the company. And so during these rotations, you try one role within IT, and then after 8 months, you go into something else. Yeah.
Excellent. And where are you right now within your rotation? What's your actual role?
I am right now doing my consolidation role, so the 3rd year, and it's a bit funny because I did mention that it's supposed to be sort of the bridge into our permanent position and the sort of role that you want to do, and that's what most people choose to do, and I thought it was a very good opportunity for me to do something else and not right now decide what I want to do. So I'm treating it as an extra rotation. So I'm never following the rules for some reason, but so I am currently working as delivery manager in the AI engineering team. So very, very cool, quite new team, very innovative, lots of things happening all the time. So very exciting.
I agree, and I know a lot about that team, and I know working with Nick's Brown team. So yeah, he's a fantastic leader. So you're under really good hands with him.
I agree.
And so what's been the most memorable aspect of your couple of years with AZ and his graduate role? What's been the most memorable part of it?
I think definitely getting to know so many people around the world. You know, the company's global, and you really get the opportunities to work with people from all over the world, and that together with the graduate community. And you know, we had an induction week at the beginning of our graduate scheme where you met all of the global graduates and you really bonded. And I mean, we've been on holiday after that together, and you start to see how useful it is to actually, you know, get to know all of these people from different parts of the company, you know, not just IT, because you travel a lot. I did 8 months in America this year. Yeah, just to see how it is there and get to know people over there and see what it's like, and see differences. So and there you really see how useful it is. I already knew some people thanks to the graduate scheme, for example.
Great. No, and did you get caught up in the whole COVID bit? Did you come back just? You were stuck out there?
I went there in February, got back here end of the summer. So.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you're back now.
Yes.
Yeah. What made you go down the graduate route into IT? I guess particularly why the AZ IT graduate route?
That's a very good question. I think I I didn't know what I wanted to do. After I finished uni, I knew I wanted to work in IT, but IT, as you know, is super, super broad, and there's just so many things you can do, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then the only thing I knew was that I wanted to work for a company where every day when I wake up, I do something useful for the world, for people, or for animals, or whatever. And I heard about AstraZeneca, and many people, it's very big in Gothenburg, so I knew a lot of people whose parents work there or who work there here themselves. And I've heard so many great things about it being such a great place to work. So when I heard that they have an IT graduate scheme, I was like, it suits so well, and I will feel very passionate about it, I thought, and so I still do.
Great, lovely. And was it a good process in terms of going through the application stage? Was it quite intense?
Yeah, it was. It is a process. There are a few different steps. I thought it was quite fun. We had the very last bits when we had sort of an assessment day at the end. I just enjoyed the whole day. Never knew that I was, or thought that I was going to get the role. So I just enjoyed myself and had really fun that day. Got to meet some fabulous people that I today work with a lot. And then at the end of the day, I'm very happy that they do have this process, because you can see the people that you work with, that, you know, all people I've worked with are really passionate about the values that Seneca have, and you can feel that they spend so much time finding the right people who are passionate about the values that the company have. So I really like that.
Great, no, that's brilliant. Now you just mentioned it, that you kind of knew that you wanted to be in technology. What kind of age did you kind of know that actually I want to go and be in tech?
Quite late, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, both of my parents are both there in IT, or worked in IT. My mom is a programmer, and my dad is a IT consultant, recruiter, and they've always talked about IT and IT here and IT there, and I was very bored of it, and I was like, no, I'm not. That's not gonna attract me at all, and I didn't even try to deep dive into it. But then after uni, I went to England, worked there for a little bit, and I got a bit interested in started studying, going to uni. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, just I wanted to study. So I thought, what's the broadest thing that you can do? So I thought, I do business informatics, so a lot of economy and IT. I thought economy and IT, that would be the broadest thing. And then I, just from one end to the other, but the mix is very, I thought it would be very useful, basically. And then I started having my IT courses and programming and architecture and IT management and all of those bits and bobs, and I thought it was super interesting. And I realized that, programming is fun, but programming is not the whole bits of IT. It's not all about sitting in a little dark room and code away, which is also IT, obviously, and I do love that as well, but IT is so much broader, and I love working with people, and I love management and leadership and those sort of things, and seeing that that's such a massive part of what IT actually is was super cool. So I fell for it.
Great. No, great. And you kind of answered my next question, so thank you. So would you agree that I guess particularly for those that aren't very aware, or maybe don't have parents that have been IT, that they look at IT as being very code orientated or software engineering, and don't really see how broad the market is. Do you think that is a misconception?
Definitely, 100%. And I sometimes even need to remind myself, because I work with those people as well. The super techie, super skilled programmers and architects who are very much into the, technology bits. And you know, when I speak to them and I don't always understand what they say, etc., and I have a really good mentor who I talk to very often, and I say to him, oh, I don't know, what, am I in the wrong place, or you know, and you always need to sometimes remind yourself that no, this is, you know, we have those amazing people, but we also need people in management or in other areas in IT.
No, I completely agree. So what advice would you give to other women who are interested in pursuing a career in IT? You know, perhaps they, like you, have, you know, maybe at university and not quite sure, you know, what kind of route they want to go down. What kind of advice would you give to those sort of people?
One of the first advice I would say is to go outside your comfort zone. You always need to do that, and I believe every time I've tried to do that and done something where I feel like, oh my god, I'm out on deep water right now, I don't know the area, or I have no idea. But me going into AI, for example, I know nothing about it, but every time it works out. You know, if you work hard and you are passionate, then it's going to work every time. So try to get outside your comfort zone, and also believe that you've got skills that are useful and could be applicable. You know, I said IT is so broad, and that's so true. There's, you know, you probably have some skills that is super useful within IT, and it doesn't necessarily need to be the most technical skills, which it could be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Yeah. No, brilliant. And I want to go back quickly. When you did venture into your graduate position here at AstraZeneca in IT, were your parents happy that you've gone down the same route as them?
I think so. I think my mom was more positive than my dad. I think he wanted me to work for a smaller company. I think that he said, well, Kajsa, if you work for a big company, you're going to be like a little mouse, and you might not get to grow as much, and your voice might not get heard, and you know, development and those sort of things. If you work for a small company, then most likely you will grow much faster and your voice will be heard. Then I was like, well, I've always done whatever I wanted, so I was like, nah, I want to go to AstraZeneca. It sounds amazing and definitely something that I want to do. And you know, it turned out that actually within this massive company, you don't feel like a little mouse. You actually feel like what you say matter, and I express my feelings or thoughts every day, and people are actually listening to it. And that's amazing to see how, you know, just me saying something has an impact globally. It's really a really cool feeling.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So now I understand growing up, an IT career is not what you first wanted to be. So can you just share a bit about what you wanted to do when you were growing up?
Yeah, I was very sporty. I was doing loads of sports, wanted to be best at everything, and specifically horseback riding, football, swimming. I wanted to be the best in the world. So my goal in life when I was growing up was, you know, nothing else mattered. I was like, I'm going to be the best football player in the world, and the best swimmer, and the best horseback rider. And I was also super interested in music, so I also wanted to be like, you know, the biggest singer star in the world, and you know, everything at the same time, obviously. Didn't really happen, but
yeah, I'm getting a slight vibe that you're someone that's very competitive and driven.
Yes, definitely. I think it was the same in school. We were a few people in my class, and we were always competing who got the best grade.
Do you think that's helped then, especially in your graduate role? Do you think that kind of mentality, the competitive, wanting to do well, has that helped you with learning and picking up new things?
I think so, and that's also something I want to stress around when when I wanted to join the company, that's one of our values that AstraZeneca has is we play to win. And you know, getting that at the interview, what do you think about we play to win? And I was like, what do I think about we play to win? But it's definitely, and this is a sort of company where you can develop so much, but it's up to you. Like, if you don't do anything about it, then you're not going to develop and you're not going to go anywhere. But if you have the drive and passion to grow and, you know, take the next step every time, you know, now I know this, how can I, you know even more, or get to know even more, or learn even more? There are always people around you who are supporting you. And if I say, I want to learn this, there are probably 3 people saying, yes, yes, yes. And then you just do it. So definitely. And that's probably something that they pick up when they do the interviews, or the whole process of getting the role here, or the job. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to pick up on a part of that, which I think you touched upon, is yeah, how has AstraZeneca helped you in your short career so far? How have they helped you develop those skills? And as you say, you know, you've got to be the one that really instigates that growth mindset. But how's AstraZeneca helped you with that?
So one really big part of that is being a graduate. So having the opportunity to every month go into another role, into another area, is one really great part about that. And you find the next role, the next position, and the next rotation yourself. So you need to you need to network, and you need to get to know people and understand what you want to do. And then you choose whatever you want to. It's not going to be someone, and back to what I said about you need to drive your career. It's not going to be someone who says, I think that you should do this. It's really about choosing the next rotation yourself and creating the business case yourself. So that's definitely one part of the learning journey that I've experienced. And then they do really pick up on things that you are passionate about, so that you can be the best of yourself. And so when you're really passionate about something, and you feel like, okay, this is something I'm really good at, and I want to grow even more, or learn even more, maybe try in a different angle, perspective, like the fact that I wanted to go to America because I want to be working maybe as a global project manager, then it's super good to actually have experienced different cultures. And I said, yeah, I want to go to America. I want to grow. I want to learn. And they said, yes, of course, you should go to America. Just go. And they really supported the whole thing.
Great. I mean, because that must be quite a daunting thing for anyone going to live somewhere, especially on the side of the world. It's a scary, daunting thing for most people. So the fact that AstraZeneca are there to kind of provide you with all that support and guidance, and making sure that whole experience is enjoyable, I think that's great. So yeah, that's brilliant. So I guess my penultimate question, and because you are so driven and competitive, what career motivations do you have, and where do you see yourself ending up eventually? You know, where's the top of the tree in terms of where do you see yourself in maybe 15, 20 years time?
Oh my God, what a question. Isn't this like the question you should be able to answer when you go into an interview?
It's a difficult one, but and I imagine it will change over the years that go by. But yeah, right now, where do you see yourself being?
So I talk a lot to my mentor about this whole thing, and especially being a graduate and being on this leadership scheme, you always feel like it's funny, and I don't think I've ever said this out loud, but you always feel a little bit like the Harry Potter, like all of us graduates are Harry Potter, because as AstraZeneca, they treat you so well, like you're the next star, like all of us graduates, and it's super amazing. and you start thinking about, oh, I want to be up there one day, you know. But then having the conversation with my mentor every now and then makes you think about, like, well, I want to potentially be head of one particular area in IT, or head of IT, who knows. But I want to be broad.
Yeah.
I want to learn so much. I don't want to just be, okay, I'm super best in R&D, or I'm super best in operations, or whatever, IT. I want to know so much about this area, and want to know so much about this area, and I want to understand the culture so much. So I think that's more of my goal, to, you know, understand how everything works, and not having the feeling like, okay, I feel like I'm not learning that much anymore. As long as I can still feel that, then, you know, I'm just going to continue.
I completely, I think that's a really good route of doing things. And I think ultimately, if one day you wanted to be in Cindy Hoot's shoes as the CDIO, then I think you really need that breadth of experience across all of IT. It's really quick to transition and progress well within a certain area if you just specialize in that. But ultimately, if you get to the top of that, it's very difficult to then go and move into the other areas. So I think what your mindset there, I think that's a really good thing to do. And that brings me on to the last question. And this series is all about showcasing amazing women in tech, so that we can ultimately inspire more women to take up careers within this space. So what more do you think we could be doing as society, to support, you know, more women, you know, greater female representation within technology?
So I think it's very much to do with a change of mind, or a different mindset, a different way of thinking, and a different way of speaking. You know, it starts with the girls and boys at nursery, I think. I think that's where we should start, but then obviously continuing in social places, such as at work, when we have fika. You know, at one place where I was working, there was someone was saying, oh, it's so bad that there is sexual harassment at that place, and that surely doesn't happen here, at that place where I was working. I was like, how do you know that doesn't happen here? You know, it's just a change of a new mindset, I think, and to really, for us women as well, to say, like, come on women, we can do this. You know, it's not all about saying I can do, and I've done this because I was very strong or very passionate, but it's also about, like, well, actually, I'm not the most technical person, and I'm not, you know, the person that people would think would have gone into IT, but, you know, anyone can do that if you're interested and passionate, and yeah, just want to try something new, then go ahead. Like, anyone can do it. It's not, don't need to be special.
Well, I think that's some really good points there. And I guess, unfortunately, that brings us to the end of the episode. And I want to say, Kajsa, it's been a real pleasure interviewing you, because you're someone that's really passionate. I can see it. You know, just how you speak. You've just got that real energy about you, and you know, and from the short space of time that we've spoken up, you know, I can see you're such a valuable person to the IT team. And I really do hope that, you know, you continue to progress and develop in your career as a graduate, but also, you know, as you move further on. And I really think that you'll inspire more females, you know, young and old, that they can, you know, make a move into IT. And I think you're a huge inspiration to many people. So thanks for coming on. It's been a real pleasure. No, you're welcome. And to the viewers, thanks for watching again. I hope you've enjoyed the session as much as I have. So please give us a like if you have. Share this with anyone that you feel would benefit, or feel free to leave a comment and engage with us. But please do join us for the next episode of the series, which comes in a few weeks' time. But in the meantime, please all do take care, and we will see you very soon. Bye-bye.